Your first mock test had one serious fault. The car in front of you was turning right, and when you steered around the left of it, you didn't check your left mirror. So it'll be the car in front of this white color car that turns right. So you can see the signal now is turning right there. So this car goes around it, and so do you. You steer left to go around it, but you haven't checked your left mirror. There could be a cyclist riding along your left side, which you could crash into. So you must check your left mirror if you go around something like this. If you have to steer, you must check your wing mirror. On your second mock test, you made one serious fault. It was at the Waterworks roundabout. We're turning right, taking the third exit, N circular A406E. So we're turning right, so you've stayed in the right hand lane, which is all good. Now when we go into the roundabout, you're meant to catch the second lane from the inside. So 1, 2, second lane. You've actually gone from this right hand lane and you've gone into that left lane without checking your mirror. Now the camera shows it as a near miss. It wasn't as close as the camera shows, but if you see the car on your left, see how close that was? You've practically gone into this lane without checking your left mirror, when this is the lane that your lane naturally goes into. So from this lane, now you're gonna approach the second exit here. So now you check your left mirror and come to the left lane, and then you can leave by the third exit. And now this is the third exit. We're going to take the exit. Now on your third mock test, you made two serious faults. The first one was at this junction, you were turning left. Now there's a combination of two errors. You haven't turned your head right to left as often and as quick as you need to. And when you came out and turned left, you didn't keep left enough near the curb on the left. And by not doing so, you've made this vehicle slow down. If you had come out more, keeping more left behind this black color car, then this silver car wouldn't have had a problem just driving past us. Because you pulled out too wide, the silver car has had to slow down, and this is a serious error. So if I just rewind that, you can see it in right a bit more. As you're pulling out, the car has to now slow down because we've not left it enough space. And the second serious fault was stopping at the secondary traffic light. So we come to this traffic light and it's just going to change, but we managed to go through it because we couldn't stop because there's a car behind us. So these are the primary lights, and there's one secondary light across the road here. So we've got past the traffic light now, and now this secondary light here, you've seen it go red, and then you end up going and stopping your car completely here. So this is a secondary light, it's not for us to stop at. So you've come here and you've stopped, but this isn't a place for you to stop. Okay, it's just a secondary light. On your fourth mock test, you've only made one serious error. It was again at the Waterworks roundabout. We were turning right, taking the third exit for North Circular A406 East. So you've gone into the right hand lane, all good. Gone into the roundabout, all fine. This time you've got the correct lane, second one from the inside, this one. And then if I just put the volume up, you can hear what you were saying. You were saying that you need to change over at some point. So you're saying you should try to change lanes, and now you're in this lane, you've gone into this lane, but you haven't checked your left mirror. You haven't checked your left mirror there. So if I just take you back, quite busy, we might not be able to sort of come off in the fast lanes, but so in the middle lane, middle lane goes into this lane. If you go into that lane, you got to check your left mirror before you change lanes. So on Tuesday, we did your 5th mock test, which I think you would pass, and then the 6th mock test is this one, where at this roundabout we go ahead for the 3rd exit. Now this arrow on the floor is a clue that this lane will not take you ahead, so you need to change over to the lane on the right of the one you're in, middle one, because it's showing ahead. So we're going ahead for the 3rd exit. This is the Red Bridge roundabout. Now most commonly on this roundabout you will be going ahead either 2nd exit or 3rd exit. 3rd exit is Chelmsford, Romford, and 2nd exit is that little dotted line that's pointing towards 10 to 11 o'clock. That's the 2nd exit. And there's the 1st exit, which is M11, Stansted Airport. Now you're going 3rd exit ahead. I think when you heard 3rd exit, I think straight away you thought you're turning right, but the sat nav said we're going ahead. And I also confirmed, because usually examiners confirm here which way you're going. You're going ahead for the 3rd exit. So I said you're going to go ahead for the 3rd exit. Sat nav said cross the roundabout, 3rd exit. There was no mention of a right turn. Okay, so here you're in the correct lane. Now your middle lane is splitting into 2. They both say A12. So this is the fast lane and this is the normal driving lane for the 3rd exit ahead. I would say use the normal driving lane next time. Now the fast lane can also take the 3rd exit towards Chelmsford and Romford. So here's the 1st exit there. So see this red car cut in front of you, the instructor put his hand up to say sorry. That would be a serious fault if they did that on their test. So this here is still the 1st exit where cars coming in. That's the 2nd exit going off that way. And that red car is coming in from the 2nd exit. And the 3rd exit is where that silver van is leaving. So the left lane behind this white van and in the lane that's in this red car, they're both coming off by the next exit, which is the one you're taking. Now here you made your mistake. After coming off, you tried to move into the left lane and the car behind in that lane was too close to us. So it'd be a serious fault. Be more patient. Further down the road you can come back to the left lane further down the road, but we actually didn't need to come to the left lane. The sat nav was telling us to keep right because there's a right turn coming up for us. If the sat nav doesn't say anything, then move back to the left lane, but the sat nav told us to keep right before we even came off the roundabout. Okay, now the next roundabout is the Gants Hill roundabout. We cross the roundabout and take the 3rd exit for Walthamstow A1400. Now this one you usually find quite difficult. Okay, now the bus lane says 7 AM to 10 AM is the time you cannot use the bus lane, and 4 to 7 PM. So we're driving at about 11 AM, so you can use the bus lane here, depending on where your exit is. If you need the left lane, you can use the bus lane. Now sat nav said cross the roundabout, 3rd exit. Okay, so 3rd exit. See that tiny little line there is the 1st exit. Central London, the dual carriageway, is the 2nd exit, and 3rd exit is Walthamstow A1400. Usually examiners will confirm to you that you're following for Walthamstow A1400. So we need the left lane, as Walthamstow A1400 is before 12 o'clock. So we can use this bus lane if we're driving at 11 AM. And there is another sign on this board here that warns you A1400 can be done from the left lane only. So we come to the left lane. Now here on your mock test, you didn't stop. The light is red. Here's where you should stop, and you didn't stop, and you asked where is the giveaway. So this would be a serious fault on the test, and I had to brake and stop here. Okay, now for future reference, the first exit is this tiny little road into here. So the tiny little road here is the first exit. The black car is taking the second exit. So that white van just took the second exit. So if this is the first, that's the second, then the second is the penultimate exit. You're taking the third. You should be in the far left lane when you reach the penultimate exit, which is the second exit. So we've gone past the first, we're just passing the second now, and we're in the far left lane, A1400, because we're past the penultimate exit. We should be in the far left lane, which we are. Now you can take the exit with no problem. Now the lanes are very tight here, so go slow. Okay, so it's very tight, go slow, and the bend is quite sharp. Go slow around this bend. Okay, now here we were reverse parking in the Tesco car park. Now for a long period you were just looking at the camera. You weren't checking your blind spots. Your blind spots must be checked every 3 seconds or so. Okay, otherwise somebody will creep up behind you and start walking behind your car or driving behind your car, and you could cause an accident. So on the driving test you will get a serious fault if you're not checking your blind spots every 3 seconds or so. So stop if you have to as well.